Well, welcome to Trekking with Turtle, and here we are hopping around Grand County looking at other trails to do. And today we're going to hit the Jim Creek Trail, which is also home to the Jim Creek Outdoor, the National Sports Center for the Disabled. Obviously, that's probably more for the winter time, I'm guessing. But total trip should be about 7.5 miles according to All Trails. There is parking up here, but obviously all this parking up here is so large that it is for parking in the ski area, wintertime for the ski area. And just across the street is Winter Park. You can kind of see all the trails that are all carved out. Don't know much about this ski area because I've never skied here before. But you've got parking on the other side of the street for the ski area. But obviously what we're doing today is going hiking. It's obviously not winter, but it is chilly up here. It's probably about 55 degrees right now, maybe a little less, but woke up this morning and woo, it was chilly out. So follow me on this journey as we go try to find Jim Creek Falls. The Jim Creek's trail starts off with this wooden bridge, I guess you'd call it, that kind of goes over some of the natural landscape. I don't know how far it goes, but obviously this is the way to go to get to Jim's Creek and Jim Creek Falls. So this must be Jim's Creek, that side and that side. Not very full right now. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit nasally still. I feel great. Just some sinus stuff, that's all. I don't know the difficulty of this trail. I was supposed to go on the other trail and I kind of thought, well, let's skip around a little bit. So we get up here and there is a little turn off here. Looks like this area here is just a small little picnic area, but it looks like it connects back down toward the trail. At some point, I'm sure it connects. And then again, maybe not. But we're going to continue to follow it until I feel like I need to go back and cross. There were some really nice people at the parking lot to give me a heads up on where to go. And we're going to carry along and find our way. So it eventually connected back to the main trail, and there's some people that are out here hiking. Don't know how far they went. There's a bathroom up here. There's a porta potty. I'm not sure if the bathrooms are actually open or not. I haven't checked, but it just opens up to a very beautiful forest. And I have to tell you, this forest is thick, and I mean thick. The area that I camped in last night, unbelievable. Did a little exploring, and the trees were just unbelievably tall and thick as far as the eye could see. There was even a trail right behind the campsite that literally went uphill. The grade was so steep that I don't know how any human could go up there unless it's strictly, the animals are using it. But there's a small stream that ran next to it. Very pretty, but when I was literally standing on the side of the hill, I was about I'd say a 45-degree pitch, I think is what you'd call it, leaning into the mountain. It was quite steep. But in the meantime, here we are, Jim Creek Falls, or Jim Creek Trail to Jim Creek Falls. Not many people out here. Holiday is over. People are back to the grind. So in some ways it's nice to have this trail kind of all to yourself. We're about a half a mile in. So we'll trek like a turtle and move along. Well, apparently you can drive up here and find campsites. There are people parked up here trying to keep quiet. So there's also a camper across the way. I don't know where the access point is, but looks like those individuals may have been here for quite some time. But I guess if you really wanted to drive up here, watch out for that rock. You can drive part way up and camp. There's a road right there. I'm guessing that's where that big parking lot I first parked at was. We have a porta potty here. Looks like this is just the road. Go over here, we'll look at Jim's Creek. I don't know who Jim is. Don't know anything about Jim. Anyway, this is Jim's Creek. This is a dam that eventually will, once it gets full, I guess, it'll flow over and feed down to wherever it needs to go. So, back to the trail. Jim Creek Trail, N94. And this is what I was talking about last night. It gets thick through here. I mean, we're talking thick with trees, thick with brush, thick with whatever growth. Oh, there's some berries. Oh, that's a cool sight, but at the same time too, there's an animal that is getting ready for hibernation. So, let's hope we don't have any close encounters. But everything is thick through here. There's an animal been through there. There might be a couple of water crossings along the way. Well, I'm almost a mile and a half in, and it's hard to believe, but yesterday, if you look, if I aim the camera up, that peak up there, that's where I was yesterday. Today, we're down into the probably 8,600 feet, somewhere in there. However, if I look at my watch, right now, I miscalculated. Right now I'm at 9,600 feet. I miscalculated. So, but anyway, just moseying along this trail. I just passed the people that were at the parking lot. Trying to stop and smell the roses every once in a while, but right now there's currently no flowers up and about in this area. It's not sunny enough for them to pop out. And it is becoming that time of the season where they will most likely go dormant. Coming up to this open area, see if we can't get a good couple of shots here. It's kind of opens up. You can barely, well, I can hear the Jims Creek down there. I don't know if you can, but just winds its way up there. It's pretty, I mean, we're pretty far away from city life. Well, we're 2 miles in, and so far I'm liking this hike better than yesterday. Primarily, I have to work tomorrow up the road, and I don't want to be too exhausted. So this hike is a little bit more of a lollygag with some challenges here and there, such as what I'm going on right now. Ooh. There's not sure what happened up there, but maybe some sort of a rock slide? I don't know. But anyway, probably in a short amount of time, hopefully, we should be at Jims Falls. Whoop. There's a chipmunk, squirrel, bigger than a chipmunk. But then again, we are up at about almost 10,000 feet. This is just a little offshoot of the trail, maybe about 100 yards off the trail. Just kind of opens up. There's a James Creek down below, and it's just the side of a mountain right there. Beautiful nonetheless. As we get a little closer to our destination, gone through this area of forest where it just got demolished by something. And I don't know if they were trying to mitigate, I don't know what they're trying to do, but someone mentioned online that it looks like a tree graveyard. Well, the higher up we go, the more technical the trail gets, and the water crossings become a little more challenging. But still moving along. I'm about almost 3¼ miles in, probably. I didn't really see anybody or many people parked in the parking lot, except for the group that I encountered when I was researching the area, parking area, so on and so forth. So, just a moment ago, I saw literally someone come around the corner. It kind of startled me, but it was really nice to see other people that were out here. Now, I'm hoping my trip up this trail doesn't get shortened, because looking up at the top of those mountains over there, there's clouds brewing. There's supposed to be some PM showers today, but again, this is Colorado. It just dropped a few degrees while I was up here. Had to throw on my skull cap. You can kind of see where it gets a little tricky, a little muddy. There's a couple ways you can go. I'm going to scoot around that little area there. Whew. I'm afraid I'm going to have to break down and get some Sudafed for this nasal stuff I have going on. My nose is running. It's I feel a little stuffy. I'm still able to breathe fairly well, but here we go. Get down through this muddy area. All right. Like I said, this area, so many down trees that it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. It looks like I can go that way. Which probably connects back over there. Yep, it does. Or I can go this way. I would imagine depending on the time of the year, will determine which route is best. Oh, look, we got flowers. Wow. Haven't seen flowers in a while, or since yesterday practically. All right. Time to check the map, my distance, see how close we are, and get to the falls. So we have officially made it to Jim's Falls with a little bit of challenging footwork. That's Jim's Falls. That's what we hiked all the way up to see. And I'll tell you what, getting back across is going to be just as challenging. Just a small little area, a little bit of balance, but now it's time to start heading back because I can feel a few sprinkles and don't want to get caught in a rainstorm. Well, that was a little fancy footwork, and getting across those water crossings were very tricky. And speaking of tricky, here's another tricky crossing, but this one I can probably do. Pardon I went the wrong way. That's okay, but we made it across. Anyway, it's a bit challenging to get across the creek, but with a little bit of patience and a little ingenuity, we finally made it across. Now, the challenge is going back not so much finding the trail, but trying to get down before the weather front comes in. I'm sorry, my camera's kind of all over the place. I want to put it down until I get to some better grounds where I'm not all over the place. Well, that was pretty interesting. Coming down approximately the last 2 miles, I've been trying to scurry because it started to rain, and time wasn't on my side, weather wasn't on my side. Finally, it started to settle down, and I'm out of the technical area, so I can actually try to do a little more footage. But once I got up there to the falls, I literally had to turn around, take a couple of shots, and boom, gotta go. And coming down, again, a little challenging. Slippery rocks, a little bit of mud, trying to get through the rain, trying to hang on for dear life, for the most part. Not literally, but just a figure of speech. And there's not many people out on this trail today. But it is, what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday, so it's middle of the week. So people will probably start making their way back up to the mountains over the weekend. And I can definitely feel fall is in the air, at least up here. I know we still have several more days left of summer, but up in the high country, I honestly don't think it pays attention. It just says, hey, it's cold. We're going to go dormant. There's always a possibility up here to snow in September. Well, as we wrap things up here today, I want to thank you for joining me on Trekking with Turtle to going to Jim's Falls today. Again, it's about a 7-mile round trip. Parking is at the trailhead. Sometimes it can be limited, just depending on the day of the week, the time of the year. But it is free parking. Bring a rain jacket, depending on what time of the year it is. Make sure that you bring the appropriate gear, let's put it that way. And then food, hiking poles, proper shoes, and be patient. But just know that the weather can turn at any moment, just like it did today. Not horrible, but enough to kind of dampen the day, so to speak. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you in the next adventure.